Hi, I'm Orion Hendricks and I'm chronically online. This is the result of that.
Oh my fucking god. What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sunday Funday. And in today's episode, I'm going to be telling you about TV's worst boyfriends. Today, for our first boyfriend, we are going to be talking about Jake. I was about to say Weber for some reason, but Jake Riordan, I think Riordan is his last name, from One of Us is Lying. And if you haven't seen the show, you don't have to. You don't. It's one of those things where it's like, I watched it so you didn't have to. It's one of those two try-hard, wannabe edgy teen dramas. And amongst the many problems that I had with this show, I won't completely rag on it. One thing that I actually did love was the villain arc of the worst boyfriend that we're gonna be talking about. Like, I really appreciated his villain arc in the show and in the book because it's a TV show adaptation of the book. And if you haven't read the book, I'd say the book is kind of worth a read. Me personally, I'm an avid book reader. I use the word avid loosely. It was like a solid 3.5 out of 3.5 out of like 5. No, out of 10 is that's a little harsh. One of the biggest ones I will say right now is that it feels like they just took the book and they took all the character names, took 2 lines that they thought were, oh yeah, this will grab their attention, and then just threw the book aside. Basically, Jake is your typical alpha male, over masculine dude, and he was dating this girl named Addie Prentice. Now, Addie was your typical, oh, I didn't grow up with a male figure in the household, so I don't really know what to expect from a good boyfriend. You know, I want someone to come save me. I want someone to do everything for me. You know, you make the decision because I can't. Like, she was one of those type of girls. Those 2 types of people, alpha male and the damsel in distress, or like, I want to be saved, they go perfectly together. So Jake and Addie, they dated for about 3 years in high school, and Jake, being the alpha male that he is, he controlled every aspect of Addie's life, from the food that she ate down to the clothes that she wore, where they went, who were they friends with, what they did and didn't do, how she did and didn't act. Like, it was bad. This entire time, Addie didn't feel like she was being gaslit or controlled. She just simply felt that something wasn't right in their relationship. So something not feeling right led to Addie cheating on Jake, but Jake didn't find out maybe like the conventional way, like, oh, from a friend, like a friend or a friend of a friend that's just looking out for Jake. No, Jake found out way before Addie told him, from this guy that ended up dying in the show and in the book, named Simon. And Simon, he had this like little blog called About That, where he would expose everybody's dirty secrets, which, by the way, I'm not saying Simon deserved to die, but I definitely do think that he should have minded his business. Yeah, people's dirty secrets need to be brought to light and they need to, like, you know, be called to justice for what they've done. But if it has nothing to do with you, then it has nothing to do with you, babe. You definitely should have minded your business. Like, Simon told him, hey, your girlfriend cheated on you. And he was like, no, she didn't. She's too loyal. And he's like, yeah, she did. Have I ever been wrong? Have I ever given you a secret that was false information? And he's like, you know what? You haven't. Jake, being the control freak that he is, he's like, I'm gonna control everything in her life down to the very end. So I'm gonna control how her life gets ruined. So basically, Simon was planning to kill himself. You know, he was planning to commit, you know. He wanted Jake's help with the aftermath. He wanted Jake's help with the planning and the aftermath of how everything was gonna go. So Simon was like, hey, I'm gonna take myself out and I want you to make sure that everything goes according to plan afterwards. And I want you to make sure these 4 people are pinned for my murder because I don't like them and you don't like Addie, and you wanna make Addie pay for how she hurt you so very badly. Let's team up and let's make that happen. So Jake teams up with this man, this man because he wants to make Addie pay for cheating on him. Now, mind you, all the while, Addie thinks that she's keeping this big secret from Jake. Like, oh my God, she feels terrible. Like, it literally eats away at her every day. she feels terrible. She doesn't want her relationship with Jake to change, but at the same time, she wants to tell Jake and she wants to be honest with him. So Addie feels terrible, and meanwhile, while Addie feels terrible, Jake is literally just like playing like the dumb boyfriend. He's playing, you know, couldn't be dumber, couldn't be more clueless, when he knows the entire time. I watch a lot of television, but on a scale, like, I've seen some really amazing shows, but that show, honestly, the story really falls flat, and it has so much lore and dramatics for no reason. And honestly, it's like they overdid it with the cinematography to give this show to like some amplified drama and emotion, but really it just ends up being distracting in the end, honestly. He teams up with the guy to make sure that Addie is put away for this murder, and he almost gets away with it if it wasn't for Janae, Simon's best friend. And also her best friend ended up moving in on Jake after they broke up, which is really shitty. They basically out her of the friend group. So at this point, you've been gaslit, you've been framed for murder, you're trying to be framed for murder, and you've lost all your friends. How much lower can you get? I'll tell you, babe. Moving along, going forward, all this shit happens. You're trying to solve this murder case because I didn't kill this man, and I'm not gonna go down and be framed for something that I didn't do, just to get to the bottom of this and find out that the one who framed you for murder was your ex-boyfriend, who you loved and wanted to believe was such a good person all the time. He just got a raw deal and I cheated on him. I messed up everything. But really, he knew the entire time, gaslit the fuck out of you, made you think it was your fault. And then when he finds out that, you know, this man, in the book at least, this man literally chased her into the woods. She tripped on a rock and he tried to strangle her with his bare hands. So not only is he a manipulating, gaslighting SOB, alpha man, little jerk, he's also an attempted murderer. He eventually gets put away on multiple charges, some of them being obstruction of justice, and I think he got charged for attempted murder because of what happened to Addie. I did appreciate Jake's villain arc because it was low-key kind of fire. I was like, wow, you're a shitty person, but you did your thing. Like, my thing is, I can appreciate a great hero, but I can also appreciate an even better villain. Many shows and movies and stories today don't execute villains the way that they should. And when you find a story that does it right, even if the story as a whole wasn't anything really special or to write home about, honestly, I'm really just ragging on the show like it's the worst thing ever. I've seen worse, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I can still appreciate the great aspects of it. And the villain arc of Jake Riordan and the whole thing, I can appreciate that. And I can appreciate when it's done right. And that, my friends, was done right. Anywho, guys, that is gonna be the end of today's episode. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs up and comment down below some more terrible boyfriends that I should talk about, because there's so many and so many that I want to get to, but I want to know which ones you want to hear about first. And if you like this video, also subscribe. I'm here every Sunday. I would love it if you join me, and I would love it if you stayed for a while and enjoyed my time here on the internet and came over here and chilled in my little corner of the internet, because I feel like we have fun over here, and I would love it if you came and had fun with us. Remember that you are amazing and beautiful and awesome and fantastic and phenomenal, and never let anybody tell you any different. Remember to never ever 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 doubt your greatness.